Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, today we are highlighting a Panerai Radiomir, which is big, red, and rare. To be a fan of Panerai means you have to be a fan of really big cushion-shaped sports watches. So assuming you've bought into that, this is one of the most spectacular and visually stunning Panerais I've seen. This is the Radiomir Oro Rosso, which means just red gold in Italian. And you can see why they called it that, because this is a big old rose gold piece, 47 millimeters wide with a chocolate brown dial, which is a very rare color. Panerai rarely does this. I don't really see this color in any other models at all. So you can get some rose gold Panerais with a black dial, but with this beautiful chocolate dial, which blends beautifully with it, you've got to get it in the Oro Rosso, which is a limited edition to 300 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out front and say this is a very rare item. There's not many of these out there for sale at all because there weren't that many of them made at all. Now, to be a fan of this, you got to be a fan of big cases, and at 47 millimeters, which is a pretty standard size for the Radiomir now, but by any and all metrics, it's a big watch. Huge wrist presence. The lugs are pretty short compared to the height of the case, so that might sort of mask the size of it, but at this diameter, it's going to be a big watch no matter how you slice it. As 47 millimeter cases go, it is relatively thin because this does have a beautiful manual winding movement. This is not an automatic watch, but it is a GMT watch, which is interesting considering the layout here. This does have a very simple minimalist sandwich dial, which is my favorite kind of dial that Panerai does. So you do get the second time zone with the GMT hand, but this is on the same 12-hour scale as the regular watch face is. You don't have the 24-hour bezel or even a ring around the outside of the dial. They kept this very clean looking, which I think is a great choice design-wise, but as such, this might not be a true GMT or function like some other GMTs that may or may not be in your collection, depending on what brands you're a fan of. But again, simple dial. I like the extra hand. It is not distracting, even if you do have to get used to sort of reading that on a 12-hour scale. And you do have Panerai's signature second hand here at 9 o'clock and the date window at 3. So a pretty balanced dial, especially with this extra hand, depending on what time it is showing. Really clean looking. And again, I just love this bronze chocolatey color against the rose gold. This is a dial that they use so rarely, and I really wish you could see more of them, but it just heightens how special and exclusive this particular watch is. Now, something else about the Oro Rosso that I really love is the movement itself. And I obviously love a good exhibition caseback like most watch aficionados do, but this is one of the most beautiful movements I have ever seen. I'm not a watchmaker by trade, obviously, but you'll see the gold pieces, the way that they use the bridge, the layout. This is a very carefully designed movement, and this really feels like a movement that was designed with the aesthetics in mind. This is really something like this deserves an exhibition caseback, and I can see why Panerai did not want to even include a rotor or an automatic winding movement that could even block the vision of this. This is such a spectacular piece, and you'll know it if looking at the front doesn't tell you. Looking through this beautiful clear caseback exposing this movement, it is an absolute sight to behold. Again, because this is a pretty dressy, clean Panerai, certainly not one that you could really imagine being worn underneath the ocean or actually used as a dive watch. This does have a beautiful alligator strap here. Again, a beautiful tannish brown color, which I think goes great with the motif of this entire watch here. Again, we don't have any black colors. These are all earth tones sort of all over this watch, which I think is great. If you're a fan of rose gold, if you really want to lean into that sort of warm summer color that you get from the red gold here, it's across basically all facets of this watch, and it is beautiful from all over. And again, very rare. This is the first one I believe we've ever gotten in our inventory. With only 300 of these ever made, who is to say when the next time you're going to see them? So if you want an exclusive timepiece, whether it is this Panerai, whether it's any of the dozens of other brands that we have in stock, you need to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so you can see what new stuff we are highlighting every week, and check out our new arrivals page. We've got thousands of pieces ready to ship at SwissWatchExpo.com.